Hey everybody, welcome to this edition of PPN, the Pritchett Podcast Network. Well, today's kind of a weird episode. It's not to do with sports, politics, Christmas, or anything Christian. Today's podcast is dedicated to one of my new favorite streaming services. Well, it's not new. It's been around almost 8 years now. And the name of the app is Pluto TV. You can go on your Roku, your Fire Stick, your computer, your iPad, your Android, and it is such a good app. They have shows such as Cops.
Viewer discretion is advised. Cops is filmed on location with the men and women of law enforcement. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
They also have Rescue 911 channel.
This program contains true stories of rescues. All of the 911 calls you will hear are real. Whenever possible, the actual people involved have helped us reconstruct the events as they happened.
They also have an Unsolved Mystery channel. And them are just the three channels that I use on a daily basis. Here in the last couple of weeks it's been the Cops channel, but for months prior it was the Rescue 911 channel. I just find it nice to have a 24/7 channel with some ads. It's not as bad as regular TV, but they got ads, and it's not. And I never have issues with the streaming service. It's easy to use, it's fun to, just sit back and watch the shows that, as a kid, we grew up on. Rescue 911, Cops, man, you almost planned your Saturday nights around Cops. But here's some 5 things you need to know about Pluto TV, and this is from one of my favorite streaming Facebook pages. It's from the group Cord Cut News, and I would highly recommend them. I would still be cutting the cord, but using Hulu, Sling, Fubar TV, YouTube TV. If it wasn't, I had so many people using the internet at one time. It just sucks the internet up right badly, very badly if you got more than 3 or 4 people using the same streaming service. It just kills your internet. But if you're a family of 1 or 2 and you have such a small house with good internet, that's another thing. If you want to cut the cords, you gotta have good internet. So here is 5 things you need to know about Pluto TV.
Well, hello and welcome to the Cord Cutters News YouTube channel. If you're new around here, well, we have live Q&As every Wednesday, weekly news wrap-ups on Fridays, and in between, we dive a bit deeper into a specific topic. And that's what we're doing today. Today, we're going to look at Pluto TV. It's been around for a few years now, and it's seen some pretty significant growth and expansion, and some of that's been quite recently, for reasons we'll get into shortly. If you've been curious about the free streaming service, what it offers, and whether it's actually, free, well, you've clicked on the right video. These are 5 things you should know about Pluto TV. Number 1. First, a bit of history. Okay, let's back up a bit and talk about Pluto TV's origins real quick, because if you've only recently heard of the service, it might surprise you to know it's actually been around for just over 7 years, which, in the world of streaming and cord-cutting services at least, is a pretty dang long time. But yes, in its earlier incarnations, it served sort of like a curated aggregator of various online video platforms, so you'd see content from places like Vimeo, Dailymotion, and of course YouTube. And over the years, it's grown and made various content deals with companies like Hulu and Sony, including apps for the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 gaming consoles. But perhaps its biggest development came in 2019, when Viacom announced it would buy Pluto TV and leverage the free service to help promote its own properties like shows and existing channels. And shortly afterward, Pluto TV started adding branded channels featuring content from Viacom-owned properties. So you started seeing options from, say, Nickelodeon, BET, Comedy Central, and more. And then later that year, Viacom and CBS announced they were joining forces to become, Viacom CBS. And we've since started to see more and more content from the newly merged company make its way onto Pluto TV. Next up, let's talk about lineups, shall we? Number 2, channel structure and categories. So if you fire up Pluto TV these days, you might notice it bears a fairly strong resemblance to traditional pay TV services. You'll see a grid of channels and a guide showing you what's on now and what's coming up next. Those channels are organized by subject into a number of categories and content tiers. And those tiers have changed and evolved over time as the service's content has grown, and they recently updated the lineup to add even more categories. And as of the recording of this video, here are the available content tiers. You'll see a fairly diverse lineup of options here, including movies, news and opinion, reality, classic TV, and more. There's also a dedicated kids section if you want to head straight for the family-friendly programming. Over on the on-demand side of things, you get a mix of TV shows and movies to choose from. You can select from categories including comfort movies, sitcoms, TV dramas, and others. And Pluto TV says you have access to thousands of movies on demand, including newer releases and classics. Number 3, recent updates and additions. In recent weeks, the service has rolled out a number of new channels, including ones dedicated to specific shows like The Carol Burnett Show, which is channel 516, or Survivor, that's channel 296. And as you might expect, a lot of these new channels and offerings come courtesy of Viacom CBS's extensive back catalog, which is why you'll see choices like the Star Trek channel or one dedicated to The Amazing Race. And beyond show-specific options, some of the new choices include classic TV comedy and classic TV drama. And recently, we've also seen the addition of channels like Pluto TV Love Stories, Pluto TV Suspense, and Pluto TV Fantastic. While that last one, it focuses on sci-fi and fantasy adventures, if you're interested. And here in September of 2020, the service has added still more options that cater to action sports and crime and drama. That latter option includes shows like Pacific Blue and Jag. If this all sounds like it's at least partially meant to entice you and get you hooked on Viacom CBS content, enough to maybe sign up for pay services like CBS All Access, well, you might be onto something there. Number 4, supported devices. Okay, let's say you're interested in watching Pluto TV, but you're not sure where to watch. Well, the good news there is that alongside expanding its content offerings and international markets, Pluto TV has been steadily improving its platform and device support. Now here's a look at where things stand right now. You'll see big names like Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV all supporting the service, and more recently Pluto TV announced it would be coming to LG TVs starting with 2020 models, before popping up on 2016 to 2019 TVs later this year. And interestingly, Pluto TV also says LG models from 2012 to 2015 currently have access to the app, so there's just a window of model years left there to address. Now the company continues to make moves and announcements at a pretty rapid pace, so if you want the very latest on device support, might I suggest subscribing to our YouTube channel here for the latest news and updates. And don't forget, we also have a news website, cordcuttersnews.com. Number 5, So is it really free? And what about the future? Well, yeah. Despite its significant growth and evolution over the years, Pluto TV's main claim to fame is that it was and still is a free service. No login or signups are required, but if you do opt to sign in, you'll get updates on the service's new channels, movies, and lineup changes, but the company reminds you it's all free with no credit card required. Now, what'll be interesting moving forward is seeing how Pluto TV fits in with Viacom CBS's grand streaming plans. We've been reporting for a while now that the company is planning a new super service, to use their term, that includes some exclusive CBS and Showtime content, alongside a variety of Viacom CBS-owned properties like Comedy Central, MTV, and others. There are still plenty of questions about this new venture, of course, but we do know it'll leverage the technology that currently powers the existing CBS All Access pay service. And we learned even more this week as we were recording, as the company announced that CBS All Access will be rebranded and reworked into a new service that's called Paramount Plus. Now, that new service is expected to launch sometime in early 2021 and will include content from the company's various brands and channels, alongside original content like The Offer, which explores the making of the Godfather movie series, and a true crime series called The Real Criminal Minds. And once this new service launches, it'll be interesting to see how Pluto TV coexists. Now, Viacom CBS could potentially continue to leverage the free service as a means of attracting viewers to its stable of content, both to generate revenue via ads on Pluto TV itself, or in the hopes they'll eventually sign up to Paramount Plus for access to more content, including new and exclusive shows and movies. After all, we've seen examples of CBS All Access shows like Star Trek Picard and Star Trek Discovery offer up
Paramount Plus, but can we please stop it with the ads? These ads are killing me. They are just everywhere. Like I said, I watch these three channels
in the future.
Cops, Rescue 911, and Unsolved Mysteries. And about 4 times an hour I get an update about Paramount Plus.
Major acquisitions.
So it looks good, but chill with the ads, please.
Continues
so
to
if you just want to look for something to watch, scrolling through the channels or just laying in bed with a bad headache, download Pluto TV and check it out, guys.
Or maybe there's a classic show.
Before I go, I want to say this is the first podcast recorded in my new room. So thank y'all for listening. Have a good day, y'all.
Have another favorite